about your girls again. To leave us for dead. Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. It's softer than a cue. You don't know the life of a showgirl, baby. I'm never ever gonna. Welcome back, fanboys and fanboys of the. Can I talk? Welcome back, fanboys and fangirls of the world. My name is Mario, and we are here today, back in our lovely fanboy corner, to celebrate Taylor Swift's 36th anniversary, plus the release of the ERAS Tour movie, the final show, and the end of an era docu-series. Like, what? What are you talking about? First of all, Taylor Swift, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 30. Well, she's feeling 36. Not me, not me. Lucky I'm still only 23. No, and after that, like, my God, guys, the docu-series, it's coming. I mean, which day are we today? I mean, technically it's not Taylor's birthday yet, but you will see the video when it's actually her birthday. We are on the 11th, so tomorrow there's gonna be 2 episodes and the whole concert. We will be reacting with my friend, the one we reacted to the album, on Patreon as an exclusive collection to these ERAS Tour docu-series, because I cannot upload it here on YouTube. But I think it's going to be so great. The ones that you want to join us to just chat about that, I think we're gonna cry a lot, because it's going to be like everything we ever wanted. You know what I mean? So I'm so happy for that, and also excited to see the Torture Poets set like properly recorded. We are going to talk about my ERAS Tour experience today. I think it's been like a year. That is also something to talk about. It's been a year about the tour, and I think it's time to reflect on the past and how this event changed our lives as Swifties. There's a lot of things that I want to say, and since I didn't want to miss anything, I have here like my notes. So sorry if it seems like I'm reading something. I'm not reading. It's just like little points that I have, like, because if not, I'm gonna forget, because it's been like, it was a hell of a ride. There's a lot of things to mention, and I'm gonna be showing a lot of clips too, so maybe it's gonna be kind of a long video. But I'm sure that if you enjoy the ERAS Tour as much as I did, you won't mind that. So yeah, we're gonna go for it. If you started to like my content, if you enjoy my company, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss anything that I will put out in the future. Not only Taylor, but also my other beloved artists. And also don't forget to look for my Patreon in the description in case you want to join the release of the docu-series. We will be uploading 1 episode every week, starting the first week with the movie. And yeah, thank you so much for the ones who are here. I really appreciate your company, and I love doing this video. Like, I was really waiting for the perfect moment, and I think that moment has arrived. First of all, as a personal experience, I've got to say that this tour was probably one of, well, not probably, I'm sure, first of all, the best concert I've ever attended in my entire life, and I think nothing will ever top that, not even another Taylor tour. But it also was one of the best moments in my life, one of the happiest moments in my life. I get so emotional every time that I think about it, because it was like a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation, waiting for a whole year, getting ready, and I don't know, it's just those moments when you realize that lives really matters, that it's worth something, and that what Taylor has built with Swifties and her community on the almost 20 years upon her career, it's something exceptional. And this tour exceeded my expectations, and I think everyone's expectations. I think it was a really core moment for like the whole world. This tour became something even bigger than Taylor and her team imagined, that the Swifties imagined. I think it was a combination of, she wanted to do the best. She wanted to give a 3-hour concert. She wanted to perform with her whole heart, and even if she was hurt, she was gonna be there, and everyone was giving their 200%. And also the combination of what the fans, us, turned this tour in. Like, for example, the friendship bracelets traditions, and the outfits, and the little things we did, like the ovation and champagne problems, or the balloons in Willow. Like, all those things made it even bigger. It was such an event, like everyone connecting to the live streams to see the surprise songs, and then her changing the songs to mashups, like everything coming together. The announcements of the albums, 1989, Speak Now, adding the Torture Poets set, like, oh my God, that's just a lot of things that were happening during 2 years, and I just don't think the world is never gonna ever gonna forget this tour broke every single record that could be broken, and even people who are not Swifties were aware of that. The economy on the countries she went increased a lot. It was like the weekend of the Eras tour on each one of the cities. Like even I think in one of the cities they made her the major, and I just know like the concerts that I experienced, it felt like the world was coming together for the tour. So it was just not a regular night or a regular concert. Even people have so much fun that they suffer from amnesia. Just today I watched her on the Seth Colbert, I think, late night show, and she was talking about this, about the amnesia effect. And I, even though I still remember like a lot of things of my nights, I think that there's some parts where I was completely oblivious of what was happening. Like I could not process. Now that I see it on reflection, now that it's been a year, now that I'm kind of over the sadness when the tour ended, I remember watching the last night with a friend. I think I treasure this memory so much, but I am also glad that it ended in terms of it did what it had to do. Taylor needed a rest. She gave her all, and this led to the creation of the life of a showgirl, a new era. And I'm sure the next tour is going to be special too, but there's never going to be something like the Eras tour, and that's why it had to end and be treasured in this tiny bow, like forever. The Eras tour, you know what I mean? That's what I think that I could not process 1 year ago, and I can process now. My God, that's a lot of things that I've said already. That's why I think the docuseries is coming a year. My God, can I talk? A year later makes so much sense now that everything like is settled. We've got like a new album that was created during that period of time, so we can get like those behind the scenes that we could not see before the album was released. And I'm really excited to see what we're gonna get because oh my God, like can you imagine like the whole process of the re-recordings and Torture Poets and the sets coming together and the life of a showgirl? My God, guys, I swear to God, you will see me cry. I think the only time you have seen me cry is on the eyes closed Jisoo and Zayn reaction. But this is going to make me cry. Like I'm just 100% convinced about it. Now, my coming to my experience. I was lucky enough to attend three Eras tour nights. The first one was Madrid night one, and the other ones were Munich night one and Munich night two. All right, so how this thing come together? First, on 2023, I was not like processing the fact that it was really normal or that it was a once in a lifetime experience. So it was really normal to go to multiple concerts. My goal was to go to one night, and I got tickets for Munich night two. It was really a fan war, a bloodbath. I was so excited. Like I could not believe that I was going. And now that I think about it, I could not understand how I was just happy going to one concert because like the other two ones that I went were life changing. On February 2024, she announced a second night for Madrid. Well, like a first because it was the first one. And with some friends, we said we have to go. She's coming to our country. We had no codes for Madrid night two, so we tried and we got them. We didn't care where we were going to be located. That was really fun. I went with three friends. The whole group we were there on Madrid, of course, but on the venue we were four people. And then like 2 months before going to Munich, because Madrid was in May and Munich was in July, a friend who was going to the first night on Munich told me that his friend could not make it, so she had a ticket to spare. And she told me, okay, the ticket is pretty expensive, but it's on the first row. I mean, it's not VIP, but it's a ticket on the floor. So I was like, okay, so I don't have any chances to see her from up close. And I was willing to do a queue for her. So I said yes. And that's how I got to go to the best night out of all the three because I was here. You will see it later. So yeah, it all came together. I was so lucky. And I'm never going to forget how my destiny was written to be able to attend more than just one show. So now I was thinking if I should go night by night, but I think it's going to be better if we just talk about different topics that I think are important to talk about the restaurant to highlight. And I will be showing different clips and different photos from the 3 nights at the same time. First of all, we're gonna talk about venues, the spots, the vibes, the people, the crowd. Madrid. I went to night one, the 29th of May, and I went to Bernabeu, the Real Madrid's stadium. And since we got it by chance because it was announced later, we didn't care. They like the place, so we went up, up, up because the Bernabeu was really high. And this was my view. It was really great still. It was my first experience on the ERAS tour, and it was an unforgettable night. I had so much fun. Then on Munich night 2, I'm sorry, Munich night 1, as I've said, I queued a lot. Like, my God, it was like from 5 a.m. in the morning to 5 p.m. and it was in July, really hot. We were lucky enough to have some shade, but still, thanks to that, I got this view, which was really good. We only were like 4 or 5 rows um, close to the stage, and the only people who were in front of us were VIPs, so it was worth it. We made some friends on the queue with my friends, German friends. We played Pictionary, like guessing Taylor songs. We slept on the floor. It was like a huge deal, but it doesn't matter because it was totally worth it. But let me tell you that at the end of that night, I've never been more tired in my entire life. I swear to God that when I went to my accommodation, I could not move a single finger, and I had to rest a lot for the next night, which was the only one that I had on the first place. And this was the view. I think it was really good too. And so you can see that the 3 points of view are really different, and I got to experience the show in different perspectives, which was really good. And by the way, the dates for the Munich shows were the 27th and 28th of July, and it was really special because my birthday is on the 22nd of July, so it was the same week. And last year I turned 22. So it was really special that on the same week I got to listen 22 live 2 times. I went to Munich to both nights with a friend who offered me the ticket of the first night. She's called Paula, and is one of the people who organize and prepare Taylor Fest in Barcelona. It's a really good event if you want to go. It's like my comfort place, and it's where I met all the friends that I've got now, my Swiftie friends. So it was really great to spend with her 4 days. And even though on the second night we were not together, she also got the ticket for the second night, and we were separated on the venue, but we were together on the same concert, if that makes sense. So yeah, like that second night was by myself, and I really appreciate that too. It was kind of opportunity to just take it all in, being like the last night that I got to attend. Right, talking about the outfits that I wore. On Madrid, I wore this, which is one of the best things I've ever bought. It was all sparkly. It gave like kind of midnight's vibe, but like all the colors at the same time being the ERAS tour, and everyone stopped me because they wanted to take a picture with me. That was really fun. And in fact, on that same night after the concert, the TV interviewed me because they were like, "Oh my God, your outfit!" And I was like standing out. So they came to me and they asked me some questions. It was really fun.
¿Alguna sorpresa que no esperabais? Bueno, esperábamos que saliera con los colores de la bandera de España en la central y así ha sido.
Then I appeared on TV, and my family and friends saw me, and they were like, "Oh my God, you're on TV!" Then on Munich Night 1, I wore this with also like the pants, like the whole shake it off outfit combined with my friend. And on Munich night 2, I went disguised as Heartbreak Prince, which was an outfit I had already used in one of the Taylor Fest. And also people enjoyed a lot. I made like I don't know how to say it in English, like la capa, which was golden, and then like the heartbroken, like a crown. Like, I think it was a really great vibe. It was beautiful, it was simple, but it did what it had to do. So I was happy about that too. And then the outfits that I got to see about Taylor, not only my outfits, but her outfits, I was so lucky. Like, for example, I got to see the green dress for August or the blue dress for August, which are really beautiful. I also love the enchanted outfits, especially on Munich Night 1. The Cruel Summer bodysuit, well, the Lover bodysuit. Since I went to three concerts, you could have like the possibility of having the same outfits, but they were all kind of different, so I was really happy about that. And well, in Madrid she wore the Spain flag for 1989. We were screaming so hard. And also in Munich Night 1, she wore kind of a blue and orange outfit for 1989. And people were saying like, that is you, it's just your vibe. And it was true, that's really me. Like that color combination. I mean, orange is my favorite color. Here you can find some pictures of the friendship bracelets that I did and we did with friends. I did quite a few. Even though we traded, some people just gifted to me. So I got to have a lot of them. I have them on there on my ERAS Tour movie cup, and I treasure them so much. Sometimes I wear a few of them. I remember a friend gifting me Long Story Short, which is one of my favorite songs. I remember me giving as a gift to a little girl who was so happy, friendship bracelet. Like, we are just the best fandom. It was so nice. It felt like a family. I remember also on Munich talking in English with some guy and girl and then realizing they were from Spain. That was also really fun. So yeah, the I think the friendship bracelet thing, it's the only time in my life that I'm willing to do stuff like that, like creative stuff, which I'm not really good at. Before we get into my favorite moments and performances, I want to show you like also some clips of how I felt the first time in Madrid, because I cannot tell you guys, like, well, you will see it here, but it seemed like I was going to die. I swear to God, it was not normal. I'm a little bit ashamed to show it, but if you're watching this video, it's because you're probably a Swiftie, or at least you like Taylor Swift and respect her fans, and you will understand that to us, it's just like the most glorious moment ever. I could not keep my excitement. I could not believe I was going to see her. Like, are you real? Are you a real person? Because of course I know you're a real person. It's not like I have a parasocial relationship with her. It's just like I've always seen you on TV and listen to your music, and now you're here, like just like me, close to me. Even though in Madrid she was really far away, I also cried on Munich, of course, really close. So emotional. She just coming out like, oh my God, you're here. It just, I cannot believe it, Taylor. I wish I could meet you sometimes, but if I don't, at least I can say that you were like 5 or 7, 8 meters close to me. That's a lot. All right, so I think I've covered pretty much everything that I wanted to say about my 3 nights. And now I'm gonna talk a little bit about what are my favorite moments, even though like the show was perfect from beginning to end. I want to talk a little bit about the sections and and so show you some of my favorite clips. First of all, since I was in the European leg, the set list was changed, and we got the Truth or Poet set. We got like the merge of Folklore and Evermore, and we'll lose some songs. I've got to say, my two favorite performances on the ERAS tour, Tolerated and The Last Great American Dynasty, and I was absolutely devastated that she took those out because I wanted to see them so bad live, but we cannot have everything, right? And also, I was really sad about Long Live because, because what do you mean I cannot sing Long Live with my whole crowd? I was really disappointed. I did not understand why she would took out Long Live after adding it to the set list, and like, Speak Now only had one song, so yeah, I think she should have kept those three. But anyway, at least we won the set that I think is the best one on the whole tour, which is the Trotter Poet set, because what do you mean? That was something else. That was really, really something else. Like, the whole concept was already perfect, but each one of the songs had a perfect concept. The folklore, what am I saying? Fortnite with the bed. The smallest man who ever lived, like the march. The Who's Afraid of Little of Me, like scary kind of moving with that thing that we call Roomba. It was the best one, really well done. But I think before that one, the two that I liked the most, and I think they were the best ones, are Folklore and Evermore, and still they were perfect even after being merged. But I think they kind of lost their essence a little bit because it was kind of all together. But like just like the visuals and the intensity and some like details that you may not think are important but are. For example, the trees in Willow. Marjorie, it was not a thing that they planned, but we did, like with the lights on our phones. That was really beautiful too. And the My Tears Ricochet visuals on the back, outstanding. Running on August and merging it with Illicit Affairs. Those are the three best sets in my opinion, even though I think Reputation is always going to be great because the songs are meant to be performed. And Lover, 1989, Midnight, they were all good, but of course, like for example, the Shake It Off effect. Everyone's complaining that their singles are being played for 1989, but when Shake It Off comes in, everyone was vibing so much, having so much fun. I think it was really necessary. And even though I would change some songs on the set list, I think they were pretty well chosen. For example, the set that I liked the least was Red because I think Red should have been less singles. I mean, I would have changed some of the singles for Red the song or even Holy Ground, but I've got to say that I loved so much the like when that girl came with the cage and she would open it and the songs we were playing. I believe it was State of Grace, Holy Ground, and Red. I think those were the ones. Like, it was really great. It's not that it was a bad set, but if I had to pick one, and also speak now because it was really short, but I've got to say that the song she picked was perfect. My favorite songs and performances, and I'm gonna be showing some clips. This is going to be kind of all over the place because there's a lot of things that I like, and maybe I will find out afterwards some clips that I want to use. But I want to highlight Cruel Summer. Like, just opening with that song. I mean, I don't love Miss Americana, the song, even though I think it was really great to start with. It's been a long time coming, but the first full song was Cruel Summer, and she knew that she had to do that because we were demanding Cruel Summer. It was incredible. Fearless set was really cute. I think it was so nostalgic and it was easy, but really effective with the band and the dancer. Well, like dancers, the backing vocalist was really fun. What else do we've got here? I'm trying to go in order. Then, even though Red, as I've said, is not my favorite set, two moments that I want to highlight, especially from Madrid, was the 22 hat. It was a really great idea, and I cried the 3 times. I don't know why. I just saw the children, and I felt so emotional. And then also the moment in "We're Never Ever Getting Back Together," like ever in different languages, and in Madrid, he said "ni de coña."
He calls me up and he's like, I still love you. Like, I mean, this is exhausting, you know? Like, we're never getting back together.
Which is a funny way to say it in Spanish, and we were expecting that. We were so happy. But I mean, of course, All Too Well 10 was a spectacular moment. I cried, I called my friends. What am I gonna say about that? Then Enchanted, guys, I don't know what I've got with that song, but something happens to me. It takes control of my emotions and it makes me cry like this. And I swear to God, I cried the 3 times and I'm never gonna get over it. I was so sad that it was shortened, but I understand that it's a long song, but the whole vibe of the dress and the dancers and the visuals, incredible. It was just one song, but she did it justice. This is not one of my favorite songs at all, but I've got to say that she did eye contact with me on Delicate. I almost passed away. And on the Reputation set, another thing that happened in Madrid was that if you say in Ready for It in the middle of the night in my dreams, it can sound like Madrid, in the middle of the night in Madrid. So the whole Spain community, Swiftie Spain community, was on social media for a long time saying, we have to let her know that she has to sing it like this. And she did. She sang in the middle of the night in Madrid, and we freaked out. It was really fun that she would know that and do it. Wow. Of course, like the Don't Blame Me, Look What You Made Me Do transition. If the two songs are already perfect live, just that transition, what do you want me to say? Like the high note, the all the tailor outfits, cage on those cages. Oh my God. And I don't know, like the whole situation there of those two songs was one of my favorite parts of the show too. Then, as I've said, there's a lot of songs that I could mention about Evermore and Folklore, but I've got to say that outside Tolerate and The Last Great American Dynasty, which were not on my show, I've got to say that my favorite performance is Willow. It was perfectly executed with the balls and just like the witchy vibe, perfect. Incredible section of the show. Then also like the August Illicit Affairs mashup. I mean, I think everyone has grown to love even more Illicit Affairs thanks to that, even though it was just the The Champagne Problem performance made me cry a lot too, and then the standing ovation. It was so magical, like the whole set was so magical. And of course, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but my Tears Ricochet visuals, outstanding. Well, I said that the Shake It Off moment was really fun, but personally, being my favorite Taylor song, style, I was so happy to see that. I was so happy that it was the introduction to the set. It felt like one of those nostalgic moments, having fun. It was that moment was the definition of pure joy. Like just dancing and singing "Take Me Home" from the top of your lungs. Beautiful. And 1989 it was really great. Like in general, Blank Space too. And what was after that? The Turtle Poet set. Like I've got this amazing picture, and personally, I would say that The Smallest Man is just the best one. It's not my favorite song from the set, but the vibes of the march and everyone being shot and dying, like who comes out with that idea? It's a lot. Of course, at the end of the show when you're almost out of energy, you have that last part with Midnight's Bejeweled is one of my favorite songs, so I was so happy to experience it live. And the Karma, even though you may or may not like the song that much, that moment was really emotional because it was the last song, the color outfits, the fireworks, super beautiful. And yeah, I think that's kind of my review of all the performances. And now, I'm pretty sure you have noticed that I have not mentioned the surprise songs because I wanted to do a special section for that because, of course, is one of my favorite parts of the show. And I want to tell you which songs I got. Madrid 91. I'm going to show you both the performance and my reaction. We started really strong with Sparks Fly. And guys,
the last tour that I was here for was the Speak Now tour. Might be a little hint. Drop everything! Leave me in the bottom! Kiss me like a someone! Take away the pain! Cause I see sparks fly whenever you smile.
we lose our minds, and I think that was like the best moment before the downfall because I gotta be honest, I did not enjoy that much my surprise songs in Madrid. I was not happy because she matched Sparks Fly with I Can Fix Him, which is not a song that I truly enjoy a lot. And then she mashed Snow on the Beach with I Look in People's Windows, which, all right, the mashup was really beautiful and really put together. I think they made sense together, whereas the other two didn't. But I did not understand why you would put I Can Fix Him and I Look in People's Windows, which are two of the short songs in Torture Poets and not like fan favorites, on the same night. And there was a rumor that Lana was gonna come on the show because she was in Spain. So when she started playing Snow on the Beach, we lost our minds. And she had the audacity to say, "It's just me, guys, sorry." And that, combined with the fact that the hole where she had to dive afterwards was open a little bit like before. So we thought Lana was gonna come out. So that was really also disappointing. But well, at the end of the day, it was our expectations. But doesn't matter because the other surprise songs that I got in Munich made it up for this. First night on Munich, I've got on the guitar Fresh Out the Slammer with You Are in Love. And I've got to say, I already loved Fresh Out the Slammer, but since that night and just like some time that I had with the song, it's become one of my favorite on Trotter Boys because it's really unique. And I was listening to her singing that and I was like, oh my god, this is offensive, superior song. How could I not realize that before?
At the park, you used to sit on children's swings, wearing imaginary rings. 'Cause you were in love, true love.
And I've got to say that You're in Love is my least favorite song on 1989, but it was really beautiful to witness it live, and I think the two songs were surprisingly well put together. So yeah, but Um, the main thing here was, and you will see it on my reaction, that she sat on the piano and she started saying,
Well, you know,
Sometimes you just don't hit the right note, do you?
I need you when the spirit meets the bone.
I was one to know, and me and my friend died. Like for real, like I died dead because Ivy is one of my favorite songs ever, so special. And I was like manifesting it. I wanted that song to be played to me, and it happened. And she mashed it up with a fan favorite, which probably you're gonna be really jealous about, which was Call It What You Want. And I've got to say that even though I was happy to hear that song because it healed my relationship with the song, it's never been one of my favorites. Anyway, it was really beautiful. And then on the third night, on Munich Night 2, this was like the life changing mashup. She started. Oh, 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 and I was like, you cannot be real. Like, I don't want to live forever. One of the songs that has been with me since it was released, even though I was not a Swiftie because everyone knows that song. I I swear to God, I just lost my mind. My friends were on my group chat like, "Oh my God, Mario, you're so lucky! I'm so glad for you." And then, if that was not enough, she decided to play that one song from Torture Poets, which I think is not receiving the attention it deserves. But it's a me song, and it's always been my top three on the album, which is "I'm Gonna Get You Back." Guys, she had played that song not a long time ago, and I was really thinking that I was not gonna get it. I was really sad. And then she stops, I don't want to live forever, and she starts lilac shirt, skirt, and was like, no, you've got to be kidding me. And then she on the bridge, she did like, I've been looking inside in all the nicest places, but I'm gonna get you back. And I was like, how can you do that to me? It was a gift. I was so loud. I did not have enough like space on my phone. Oh my god. Oh, like overwhelming, really, really overwhelming. And then she did a really beautiful mashup of two songs on the piano, which are not my favorites either, but I really got a moment with them and I appreciate them now more, which were LOML and Don't You. I was happy because it was the only night on the ERAS tour where she played Don't You, so it was kind of a thing for us for that night. So yeah, as you can see, I got five Turtle Poets songs. I was there the only two nights, I believe, where she played two songs from Turtle Poets on the same night. I forgot to mention this before, but oh my god, on Munich, there was like this mountain behind the stadium, which I think you may know, and there was like we were 75,000 people inside and 50,000 people outside sharing that experience, getting those surprise songs too. That was the thing that made this show so special. I believe in the second night, Taylor even like acknowledged that, and like the authorities were helping people to get there because I think it was better than contradicting the Swifties. You know what I mean? So right, it was really clever for the German authorities to allow that. I don't know if there's anything left to think about or to talk about. I really admire Taylor and the team because the production, the lights, the fireworks, the dancers, the acting, the outfits, like the men, that was incredible. Like The Office, or like every song had its thing, and even the ones who were just Taylor on the stage and that's it. For example, I did not get this song with The Archer, with like all the lighting coming together on the stage to form Fearless, because it was the next one. The dancing before Enchanted, like the ballerinas, it was perfectly put out and thought through, and I think it's going to be so great to see where these ideas are coming from. But let me tell you, this is once in a generation tour. There's never gonna be like, it's really hard to do better than this. 3 hour show, 45 songs. I have to say that I admire Taylor and the team even more than I did before after this tour. And after I just got the time to sit on my hotel after the concert and think, wow, what did I just witness? Like, she makes it look so easy, but we're gonna see on the documental that it's a lot. That it takes a lot of rehearsals and like being coordinated all together, changing the outfits, going from one place to the other one. I'm so proud. I'm so grateful that I got to experience this. And I think my life as a fan changed. Like it truly meant something else. After this, I've taken the Swiftie world in a really different way. And that's something that any hater could ever take away from me and from all of us and from Taylor. So you can talk whatever you want, but this is going to be legendary and is going to be remembered and started. I think I'm gonna leave it here. I talked so much. I don't know if I forgot anything, but those are the things that I wanted to highlight and to give a rendition to Taylor because it's her birthday and to the tour because we've gotten the docu-series. And we're gonna see each other really soon on Patreon for that. With my friend, it's gonna be fun. It's going to be lighthearted, and we're gonna be just. I'm not gonna even edit the videos. I'm just gonna leave them there for those who want to watch them. And really, really grateful if you stayed until the end on this video. And you can type of the comments which nights did you attend it, if you could attend, if not, how did you experience the whole tour, your surprise songs, your favorite outfits, performances, everything, everything. I want to know all the details because I love to interact with Swifties. It's always really fun and really clever. I think we are a really specific type of people. And I really admire and like the type of fandom that we are. Leaving the toxic part aside, we are really like a family. So thank you so much for being here. As I've said, we will see each other soon for the docu-series to keep fanboying and fangirling. Adios!